You know, long before there was a recession, long before we started experiencing the challenges that we're experiencing today, I was writing about disengagement within any organization. I looked around to see, because everywhere I'd gone, it seemed like people were disengaged, like they didn't really want to be there. And so I looked around to see if it was a bigger challenge, and I found a study by the Gallup organization that shows that there are three types of employees in any organization, or three types of people, whether it's a volunteer organization, whether they're independent agents, regardless of the organization, there are three types of people. At the top, we have those people who are engaged, those people who are productive and loyal. They're energetic. They want to be there every day. They just are so enthusiastic, and that makes up 26% of the organization. 1 in 4 truly want to be a part of their organization. That study further shows that 55% of employees are disengaged. 55% just show up to work every day. They do the bare minimum to get by. They collect their paycheck, and they go home. 55%, a clear majority, just show up to life. And by the way, I don't think they just show up to work that way. I think they show up to life that way. Wouldn't you agree? There's some people that just show up, and that's just their existence. But the bad part is, at the bottom of the organization, you have that bottom 19% that is actively disengaged. Apparently, just being disengaged isn't good enough. No, these people are actively disengaged. They're walking up and down the hallways trying to tear down the culture of the organization. They're walking up and down the hallways trying to create and gather up more people for their pity parties, so they can sit around and talk about how bad the world is. They can talk about how disappointing the market is. They can talk about how tough times are. 1 in 5 people in any organization are that way. So I always try to figure out who they are, and I'm sure you like to know who that 1 in 5 is as well. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to kind of glance to your right and look around, find 2 people, get your eyeballs on them, and I want you to turn the other way, and I want you to find 2 more people and identify them. And if it's not any of those, it just may be you. The exciting thing is, because you are here at Family Reunion, I have a really good hunch there aren't many 19%ers in this room right now. You see, you made a commitment early on to be here. Some of you, it took everything you had to be here, but you knew that this would be your opportunity to succeed in this tough time. You knew that walking away from an opportunity to gather with your peers, an opportunity to fellowship and to learn, that is what's going to take you through this recession. And you made a commitment to be here. My guess is that that bottom 19% is at home. My hope is the bottom 19% has already left the market. My real hope is that that bottom 19% has raced off to your competitor. I hope they're over there dragging them down. That's what I'm hoping right now. That's exactly what I'm hoping. But anyway, I looked around and I realized that in any organization, if we have 19% of our people that are trying to tear it down, we have 55% that are disengaged, then we've got 74% of people who are walking around in some state of disengagement. And I realized we had 2 different choices. We could blame other people, we could blame ourselves. And so from a leadership of other people standpoint, I wrote a book. I wrote a book to try to get past this challenge of employee disengagement. And that was the book that Kay was mentioning in the introduction. I wrote the book. John Wiley & Sons out of New York published the book. I've been traveling around the country now for 1.5 years speaking about the principles in this book, because I know the challenge that comes from this. And inside that book, I talk about those 3 types of people: those that are engaged, those that are disengaged, and those who are actively disengaged. And my question to you this morning is, where do you fall? When we do a true personal introspection, where do you really fall? One of the things I like to do is give these people a name. I don't like calling them the top 26%ers or the bottom 19%ers. I like to give them a name. So I have a name for each of these. Those people at the top of the organization that are always positive, always enthusiastic, energetic, always want to be a part of everything that happens, that's that top 26% that I refer to as the oh yes. Doesn't matter what you say to them, their only response is, oh yeah. We have a little project we'd like to ask you to take on. Oh, yeah. No, really, it's not going to be very pleasant. Oh, yeah. I don't care. I'm just so positive, enthusiastic, and energetic that you're including me. I just want to be there. I had the opportunity to work with the Southeast region. Where are you, Southeast region? You out there? Right over here. We've got it all over. You want to talk about a bunch of oh, yeahs. That was an incredible experience. You know, when you break down statistics, those are always the average. What I have experienced with my time with Keller Williams is you aren't average at all. And I found that there, and I'm finding that here. At the other end of the spectrum, though, we have those people who try to tear down our culture. We have that percentage of people who, quite frankly, every day try to find what's bad because it's easier to wallow around in that misery and give themselves an excuse for their mediocrity rather than stepping up and being an oh yeah. It's that bottom 19% that I refer to as the oh no's. Doesn't matter what you say to these people, their only response is oh no. Okay, we're going to have some changes around here. Oh no, not more changes. They've been off to family reunion. They're going to come back all excited and fired up, and they're going to have all these new things they're going to want me to do, and oh no, here we go again. You know exactly who I'm talking about too, don't you? You've got them already pegged in your mind. You probably sent them a text message already this morning saying, you don't know what you're missing. And they just drag the entire organization down, don't they? It's those people I refer to as the oh-no's. But the clear majority of people in any organization fall right in the middle. It's that middle 55% I refer to as the okays. Doesn't matter what you ask them to do, their only response is, okay. We'd like to ask you to take on a little project. Okay. No, really, it's not going to be very pleasant. Okay. They just kind of drift through life, don't they? They're just willing to do whatever. And I will tell you this, there are plenty of you sitting in this room right now, and that doesn't make you bad. We need a balance of all. But the reality is if you're going to make it through this recession, if you're going to get to the other side of this challenge, you have to do everything in your power to be one of those oh yeahs. Because that is the percentage that's going to make it to the other side. If you have not read Gary Keller's book yet, I know the majority in this room probably have. If you have not, I have to tell you, you need to do everything you can when you get out of this room to get your hand on a copy of that book. Because all you have to do is just read the first few pages of the book and you understand the dynamics and the law of equilibrium and what it's going to take and who's going to benefit when we get to the other side of the recession. Because you see, it truly is about choice. It truly is about what choice you make to get you to the other side. In fact, a great quote that comes out of his book says this: I believe that your life will be either about your problems or your opportunities. You'll either be running away from something or running towards something. It's your call. I'm not sure that any truer words have ever been spoken, because it truly is your call. You get to make that decision every day. You made the decision to get here. And some people may say, well, Clint, you're preaching to the choir. Well, sometimes even the choir needs a little sermon, don't they? Sometimes even the best of the best need a little energy. They need that message to take them to the next level. And that's what this morning is all about.